I have never, ever set a numeric goal for a certain number of converts that I'd like to see us reach in the next year or something. I think I have kind of an internal aversion to that sort of thing. And perhaps it's for theological reasons. I'm a Calvinist and I believe salvation is of the Lord. My job is to preach the gospel. God's job is to draw people to himself. And perhaps there's pragmatic reasons. I mean, who wants to be under that kind of pressure, Once you set the standard, you get exposed if you don't meet the standard. And so I think for a variety of reasons, I have avoided doing that sort of thing. But I think it's been a mistake. And I think it's been a mistake because there's something about setting a goal like that that forces you as a church to operate differently. And so this last year, we actually did that. And this fall, our elders got together and we set a goal looking at this next year. We said between 24 and 48. That's how many people we want to see come to know Christ next year. We're trusting God for that. But the exciting thing about this is right after we set this goal, it seemed as if God began to work among us. And just that week, I went into the office, I talked to our assistant pastor, and he told me a story about his wife sharing the gospel with a friend of hers just that week. Her friend came to Christ, she got connected to our church, and then started attending one of our life groups, and she's a part of our church family now. About 2 weeks after we set this goal, I gave a call in our worship service for folks who might want to get baptized. And that very Sunday, I had a friend of mine who's been attending the church for the last couple months, and I challenged him. I said, you need to commit your life to Christ. And we met later on that week. I shared the gospel with him, and he responded to Christ and got baptized. On that same Sunday, and was super exciting, but that same Sunday after the worship service, I talked to two other people who were in tears, and they responded to the gospel and received Christ that very Sunday. And they right now are getting prepared to get baptized in January. And so that makes me hopeful. It makes me hopeful as we look into this next year that perhaps this is a God-initiated, God-prompted move. And we're praying, we're trusting that God would allow us to see a whole host of converts in this next year.